Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it.
Mr. Chairman, I request a recorded vote.
A recorded vote is requested.
This is the moment the January 6th committee voted to approve criminal referrals against Donald Trump.
The clerk will call the roll.
Ms. Cheney?
Aye.
Ms. Cheney, aye. Ms. Lofgren?
Aye.
Ms. Lofgren, aye. Mr. Schiff?
Aye.
Mr. Schiff, aye. Mr. Aguilar?
Aye.
Mr. Aguilar, aye. Mrs. Murphy?
Aye.
Mrs. Murphy, aye. Mr. Raskin?
Aye.
Mr. Raskin, aye. Mrs. Luria?
Aye.
Mrs. Luria, aye. Mr. Kinzinger?
Kinzinger, aye.
Mr. Kinzinger, aye.
How is the chair recorded?
Mr. Chairman, you are not recorded.
Chair votes aye.
Mr. Chairman, aye.
The clerk will report the vote.
Mr. Chairman, on this vote, there are 9 ayes and 0 noes.
And with that, Donald Trump became the first president in U.S. history to have his behavior referred by Congress to the Justice Department for criminal prosecution. It's up to the Justice Department what happens next, but Republican Liz Cheney said the evidence against Trump was clear and overwhelming.
January 6, 2021 was the first time one American president refused his constitutional duty to transfer power peacefully to the next. Among the most shameful of this committee's findings was that President Trump sat in the dining room off the Oval Office watching the violent riot at the Capitol on television. For hours, he would not issue a public statement instructing his supporters to disperse and leave the Capitol, despite urgent pleas from his White House staff and dozens of others to do so. Members of his family, his White House lawyers, virtually all those around him knew that this simple act was critical. For hours, he would not do it. During this time, law enforcement agents were attacked and seriously injured. The Capitol was invaded, the electoral count was halted, and the lives of those in the Capitol were put at risk.
The committee recommended that President Trump be charged with 4 crimes: inciting or assisting an insurrection, obstruction of an official proceeding of Congress, conspiracy to defraud the United States, and conspiracy to make a false statement. The congressional action has no legal weight, but again, this is the first time Congress has ever made such a referral for a former president. Now, in my view, there are 2 distinct ways to look at all of this. There's the historical legacy of Donald Trump and the potential for real legal peril. On the legacy, there's no doubt this is an awful day for Mr. Trump. He has again entered uncharted territory in American history, something he first established in office when he became the first president to be impeached twice. On the legal side of things, Congress has essentially thrown everything at Trump. The legal charges they have referred are aggressive, and the Department of Justice rarely receives a recommendation from Congress that is so clear in its findings that the potential defendant is a felon, an insurrectionist, and belongs in jail. However, out of the 800 cases the Department of Justice has prosecuted so far for January the 6th, they have not brought a single insurrection case against anybody. To bring such a case against Donald Trump would require federal prosecutors to reverse the position they've had for more than 2 years. So in my view, the Department of Justice is not going to do much of anything with the January 6th referral. However, even legal experts on Fox News are pointing out that Donald Trump faces a far more serious and separate prosecution threat over his mishandling of classified documents in Mar-a-Lago. That case is in the hands of a special counsel, and the grand jury evidence against Trump continues to pile up there, even as the separate case over January 6th grabs so much public and political attention. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.